Good morning, this is Jack from Chartered Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 18th of September. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay, we had a pretty brisk day yesterday. We had the expected quarter point cut, but we also got, which was unexpected, guidance for two more cuts over the rest of this year, and given that there's not an awful lot of the rest of this year left, that actually was pretty good news from the market's point of view. So we saw some retracement here, and we've seen a retest. This has left us with a series of little level tops here, and I'll be watching that with great interest today, and we'll see how that goes. NQ, the same, going a bit higher. And it may go higher still. I'll talk more about this on the bigger picture charts. On RTY and YM, I was looking at the bull flags yesterday. Those played out exactly as you would expect them to do, and broke up and went and retested the prior highs. So that ends the flags for the time being. We will see how it develops from here. But wait a second. Sorry, I've got to move a trend line here. Okay, right, trend line is in the right place. I thought that might have moved. So here we've got a pretty nice looking rising wedge on RTY. I've got to move this trend line here because, of course, we reached the resistance trend line. So bear with me a moment. So is this a nice looking setup to see a fail soon? Potentially, yeah. We will see how that goes. We are coming into this seasonally weak period. We've got a very weak looking day tomorrow at OPEX, and we're hitting a number of important resistance trend lines here. Here is another one on YM where we've just hit it as well. So again, I'm going to move the support trend line if I can get that immediately. Right. So I'm liking it. We got a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing here on YM, and we've also got some interesting indicators that we may well see a sell the news move here, and notably, I'd say, well, actually, we've got a number of things that were interesting that happened yesterday. First one off, we made the retest of the low on US dollar. That means that we broke down below the megaphone support here. That just puts us in a shopping process. Doesn't mean that we follow straight through on it, but we've now got what I wanted, which was a very nice looking potential level bottom here. And if we are going to see this break up and play out this bullish bull flag scenario, then this would be where that starts. We're still on an RSI 5 buy signal on the weekly chart, still on a weak RSI 14 buy signal. It looks nice. We'll see whether it can deliver. But this is the double bottom that I was looking for. In terms of the bond charts here, we've now got an RSI 5 buy signal fixed on TYX. We've got an weak RSI 5 buy signal fixed on TNX, and we've got an RSI 5 sell signal fixed on bonds. So we've seen a decent move up on bonds recently. The signals are suggesting that we're about to turn around and give a lot of that back. We will see how that goes. But while that is happening, we may well see, obviously bonds and equities have been going up together the last couple of weeks. We may well see that start to reverse. We will see how that develops, but certainly it is promising, and we'll see. All right, let's have a look at DAX and the SDX. DAX went a little lower. We had a buy signal which was brewing when I posted the charts last night, and that has played out and made target overnight. ESTX has gone higher. Did the IHS fail? No, it didn't. So we've still got a possible IHS target, and it now looks more likely that it's going to make it. We will see how that develops today. But so far, in terms of seeing a retracement start soon, it looks promising, not definitive, but promising. We saw a bit of a retracement on SPX. This could give us some RSI 5 divergence on a retest of the high today, which looks obviously likely to happen today. We're still on an a weak RSI 14 sell signal. The RSI 5 sell signal on the hourly chart made target. Am I thinking we might make this trend line here? In theory, yes. In practice, well, there's no particular reason to think that we're going to. But obviously, if we are going to hit that trend line resistance there, I've got that currently at about the 6690 to 6700 area. on SPX, and we could see that today. Where are we up to right now? 66.44. We are still a long way short, and obviously that would wreck any potential level top setups we've got in the short term here. In terms of the Qs, went a little higher, or at least going a little higher this morning. We didn't go higher yesterday. It was interesting yesterday because we had the bull flags were on RTY and YM, and those made new highs yesterday, and I don't think SPX did, and I know Qs didn't. SPX didn't either. So it was interesting because those played out, and while actually SPX and the Qs totally failed to do the same thing. Interesting. On Dire, a little higher here, we could get a workable possible RSI 5 sell signal brewing. On the hourly chart, nothing really happening, but I am wondering about a possible. We did break down slightly below this rising support, so I'm wondering if that might follow through, or whether we might possibly go over to this trend line on the top. So let's have a look at IWM. Now, IWM, that was actually quite an event, because I've been watching, obviously, as you know. I called this back in May. I called this IHS as it was forming. Made target yesterday. That was a new all-time high on IWM. And so we've now made that target. I've got a possible extended target a little higher, but the main target was that new all-time high, and we have made it. We will see. In terms of this trend line here, which is the best trend line, this looked like a bearish overthrow here, and it was quickly rejected. We'll see how that gets along today, but I am wondering whether that is going to deliver a retracement from there. We've got on the 15-minute chart, we had an RSI 14 sell signal fixed late in the day. So interesting, potential topping action here. Certainly bonds are looking very promising. And we've got the last real little block of bearish looking tape, certainly for October. I think actually I had a look through, and I think it's probably for the rest of this year. So let's see whether we can actually see anything done with that. We'll see. DX, as I mentioned, retested that key low there. So if we are going to see a double bottom here, and we're going to see this move up, then this would be the place to see that happen. ZB, we've got a nice looking double top here. We're now testing the double top support. We could go a little lower and form a head and shoulders here, but we've now got fixed daily buy signals on the yields and sell signals on TLT. This is looking like we're about to see this retrace, and this was likely to be a sell in the news event, and this is playing out at the moment like a sell in the news event. This does look like it could be a bull flag forming on ZN, but I think it's likely to go with CB. We shall see. All right, CL got up to the monthly pivot and is holding that as resistance so far. HO, we tested the high as expected. Is this actually a double top? No, I think it's a bit too large, but we are seeing some rejection from that retest in any case. RBOB, this could actually be a double top, but it's still somewhat too large. But again, we're seeing a rejection from that retest of the high. So at the moment, as a resistance level, that is holding. NG, we got a 60-minute sell signal fixed, and it's now reached the possible near miss target. Sorry, I hadn't marked that on the chart, but it has. Still wondering about seeing more upside here. No signals to support either direction at the moment. GC, we got a little top here, which is broken down actually with a target in about the 36.30 area. I haven't marked it in as it's small. And honestly, yesterday was so chaotic. SI, we did have possible buy signals brewing on SI, on Palladium, on Platinum, and on HG at the close yesterday. All of those fixed overnight. So I'm wondering about, obviously, a move up. I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of the high here on silver. Palladium, possible little level bottom set up here, seeing a nice move. Platinum, about to test declining resistance here, wondering about a retest of this high. And HG, I think this is suggesting that we're not going to see an immediate breakdown from the bear flag, which is really getting it's just a long bear flag setup. It's kind of boring. I wish it would move on and retest this low, but at the moment I'm still expecting to see the retest the low. But I am wondering if we might retest this high first, set up a double top, and then take us down in a similar setup to the one we've got on lumber. Okay, USD, in terms of a reversal here, nothing really in terms of a topping setup. GBP USD didn't quite reach the obvious target and retest this high here, but still could well see some reversal here. USD JPY heading up nicely. Tiny bit of positive, negative divergence here. I don't know if that'll persist. USD CAD, obviously, we've had this head and shoulders forming for a while. We broke down slightly, and I am wondering if we're going to see an immediate rejection back up into the highs, because that would fit with this being a double bottom on DX. But there is, of course, the possibility that this double bottom's not going to setup isn't going to hold on DX, and that we break down. This is a very big inflection point on DX, and we haven't got a decision yet. Australian dollar pulling back a bit. NZ pulling back significantly to the monthly pivot. KC. We could be seeing a short-term high here, but I was really leaning towards seeing this go somewhat higher, and I'm thinking it may well. We had a sell signal, it may target. SP leaning towards seeing a retest of this low, possible second low of a small double bottom here. Looking at CC, really overall leaning towards the downside, not with huge conviction, but nonetheless looking for a retest of this low and then probably continuation lower. CT, seen a pullback here on 60-minute sell signal. That's reached the possible near miss target, watching for a potential reversal back up. Lumber has gone back and retested the low, and we've now got a smaller potential double bottom setup, but I need to roll this, and I'm going to see if I've got time for that today, but otherwise it'll be tomorrow afternoon. I'll roll this and I'll roll the oils into the next one contracts. On wheat, we've got a double bottom which has broken up here and has pretty much made the first target. I am wondering whether a larger IHS right shoulder is forming here. Ideal right shoulder low would be slightly under the current week pivot at 520.25. On soy, potential little level top here, 60-minute sell signal fixed. Sorry, on corn. On soy, potential little level top here as well. It's trying to break down. 60-minute sell signal has reached the possible near miss target. ZL, we had an IHS break up here, and that IHS has failed. Normally, we'd be seeing a retest this low here in the 50 area. Live cattle, double bottom broke up and has pretty much failed. This looks like a bear flag forming. HE, little level top here, 60-minute sell signal fix, no sign of action so far. We'll see how that goes. All right, great. Let's have a look at the questions. What are the chances that S&P has formed the top? Well, the reason I didn't do a post this morning was because we don't have the overnight action where we've got this big rise. It's going to be easier to see when we actually have seen that in RTH. But I think what are the chances that we're forming a short-term double top here? Pretty decent, I think. And obviously, on the way this is set up at the moment, the fairly obvious target would be a back test of the weekly middle band. Am I thinking that we're forming a sizable top here? At the moment, I haven't got an awful lot to suggest that that is happening here. So what I'm looking for really is a retracement for a few days that might develop into a bit more. But really, for months I've been saying that I've been looking for a high at the end of the year, and at the moment I'm not seeing much to contradict that. We shall see. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap, guys. Everyone take care, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.